This celibacy has been slightly different though, because I thought it was okay. Guys, this is TMI, and Steph is laughing because she knows what I'm about to say. But we have to be honest, Tangiti.
No, go.
Because we're trying to teach.
Listen, to your level of comfortability, as far as you're comfortable, go.
In the past, I thought it was okay to be celibate, but still masturbate.
Okay.
Still watch pornography.
Yeah.
This time around, I haven't even watched porn.
Yeah. Hey, Chommies!
Hey, Chommies!
I hope you guys are good. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Friendship Frequency.
Whoop, whoop.
Tell the people your name, though.
Hi, guys. My name is Petronella Tshuma.
Because we cannot forget Nontsikelelo.
Don't you dare.
And I'm Stephanie. We're going to just go with Ndlovu.
Wow.
What? You want me to give my full name?
Please do. I did.
No, because you love your full name.
You don't love your full name named after your mother.
And grandmother.
And grandma. You're the third.
Yo.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yes.
We hope you guys are good and happy and healthy and doing well.
Yeah.
In this here month of love. Shomi.
Yeah, bo.
I have a question for you.
Nasambe.
Okay. So, are you single, taken, looking?
I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a fair question,
It's a fair
right?
question.
Because, we're talking about month of love.
Yeah.
I'm very single.
You're very single.
I'm very single.
Okay.
And proudly single. I don't know. I'm proud.
Are you happily single?
I am very happily single.
Okay.
Because I think in the past, I used to be alone and lonely.
Okay.
I think for the very first time, I've said this, I am actually not lonely.
Okay. I love that for you.
Thank you so much.
Look at that growth. And so when was the last time you went on a date? Like a romantic date? If we have to think that far back, it's fine. It's fine.
No, I remember now because I was actually recently asked out on a date and I was like,
this is news to me for someone who's
Did I not
supposed to
tell
be
you?
your best friend. No.
So FYI, I said, listen, dude, because he actually asked me the same question. That was his way of like, he's like, so when's the last time you went on a date? And I couldn't remember. It's like, well, I want to take you on a date. And I was like, well, I just see us as friends. We never went on the date. So the last time I went out on a date, this is the day I broke my toe. When me and the shower door got into a fight.
Oh, that time. Yeah, that's some time back. We'll come back to the fact that you were asked on a date and I can't seem to remember. Maybe you told me about it. Maybe. We talk about a lot of things.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So I think we're going to start with a few quick fire questions to get this episode going. And I'm going to start because I'm really interested in this one, right? Okay. Tell me, what is the greatest love you've ever experienced to date?
To date, the greatest love I've ever experienced, to be honest, is my grandmother. Yeah, that was the greatest love.
What about it was so great?
I'm gonna try and find the words, right? But it's like, when someone looks at you with love, when you're the apple of their eye, when their touch, the way they teach you, everything about it, you sense the love, right? So I think for me, because I wasn't raised by my parents as such, so to have my grandmother, that love, she's passed away, so for me that was the greatest love I've ever experienced.
And I know you guys were very close.
Yeah,
from what you've told me.
So can I ask you something? When was your first love?
My first love, like my first real love, like romantic love.
Okay.
Like romantic love or what?
Yeah, romantic. Was your question to me romantic? Or was I okay to say my grandma? Or did you want some spice?
No.
You didn't want spice?
Whichever way.
Okay.
You
that
felt
came first.
That came first.
Sharp.
That's what we'll go with. It's okay. Right?
So I want spice from you.
What is spice? Just because it's like it's
I want to know the juice.
No, there's no juice.
First love.
My first love. I'm giving people's names away here.
Please. This here show. Actually, yeah, we're not doing that. And how old were you?
But I think probably the first time I romantically felt that I was in love was like probably my first serious relationship when I was like, I think I was 21. You know, that's probably romantically speaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say it was puppy love? Was puppy love, would you then consider your teenage years?
Yeah, no, in my teenage years. No, that was very seriously
Sharp.
like dating with
Do I know this
intention.
person? Have I met this person?
No, we weren't friends then.
Mm.
No, I know you like to think we've been in each other's lives all our lives, but no, that's not it. But anyway, no.
Okay.
So that was, yeah, somewhere there in my 20s. But
Okay.
whoever that person is. What is the greatest lesson, right, that love has taught you?
And this was romantic, ne?
No,
Any. Oh my gosh.
The greatest lesson, just love. Whether it's love from your grandmother, love in J, agape love of God, love romantically.
Okay. So I spoke about family. So let me actually move away from that, because I can talk about God and I can talk about, family. If I have to bring it, because I'm single, right? So if I have to bring it into like love with like a partner. Okay, the first thing that comes into my head is it's very important to be equally yoked.
Okay. What does that mean?
Obviously from a Christian's perspective, I can understand what that means for me. But what I've also noticed is even people that are not Christian, for example, as long as you guys have the same belief in life and whatever, if you're
Core
a
belief,
couple,
yeah.
and posa and go out, nitlabane, have you seen those drunk couples? They are solid. They are equally yoked. Bayatagwa, bayalwa, bayatandana, right? And then for Mina, it's so important to have, because we're praying. I nearly lied. I'm not yet praying for a husband, because I wanted to say we're praying for a husband. Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Not yet.
The time will come.
Okay.
But I would love to one day have a husband in whom we can both go down onto our knees and we're praying.
Okay.
So I would love a Jesus kind of love.
Okay.
So what it's taught me is it's very important to be equally yoked.
Okay. I love that. I think for me, the greatest lesson love has taught me is that love is not always enough. So
I've heard this before from people.
Yes, and it's true.
Yeah.
It's one thing to hear something and then to live through it. You understand that you can really love someone. Like there's no doubt in your mind that you love this person. But at the same time, because even Jesus displayed the greatest form of love, which is sacrifice, But at the same time, with love, there's so many things that a relationship, a marriage, even friendships need. Because I can love you as my friend, but if I don't know how to communicate to you or with you, if I don't know how to honor you, if I don't know how to give of myself to you, but I can love you, and so I think that for me, the greatest lesson I have learned is that love is not always enough. You can love someone, but there's other things that you need to consider and constantly pursue and constantly be wanting for one another for the relationship to work.
Can I ask you?
Yes.
You spoke about honoring, right? And all of that. Do you think that then if you love somebody, those other things come naturally? Should come naturally?
I don't think necessarily, no. Okay. I think the world has somehow given us the perception that certain things we should just automatically or naturally be able to do or naturally come from
the fact that I love you.
Z, yes. But majority of things are things that we work on and work towards. We cultivate certain things within relationships. Cultivating means that if you plant a seed and you nurture the seed and you cultivate the seed, then that seed becomes a tree that bears fruit. So if you're not cultivating, if you're not nurturing even that love, it will not necessarily automatically translate into honoring. Most of these things are decision that you make, but then your behavior, your actions, everything that you do echoes that decision. Am I making sense?
Can you give me an example?
Okay, so for example, just because I love you does not mean that I'm going to automatically be faithful to you, or I'm going to automatically communicate love in the way that you understand love. I love you, but we're going to need to have a conversation about what your expectations are from me as a partner, as a friend, how it is that I am currently communicating, or how it is that I'm showing you love, and are you receiving it the way that I am intending for it to be? And then in our personal capacity, am I constantly pursuing you? Am I constantly like making sure your cup is full? Never mind my cup. If you're making sure my cup is full and I'm making sure your cup is full, neither one of us are going to have empty cups. And then if we submitted under God, then he is constantly pouring both our cups. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
One last quick fire, then we can go in.
Okay.
Is there any love that you miss the most?
Do I miss the most?
It can be any kind
Definitely
of
my
love.
grandmother.
Yeah.
Definitely my grandmother. I miss my grandmother.
Yeah.
It took a long time, but you know, you always think, if my grandmother was around and stuff like that. But no. In terms of like, I just want to think to my romantic, Asham, there's no one I miss. Goodbye. Good riddance. Hope you're all right. Yes.
Moving on. Don't anything here.
Yes.
Yo. Okay. Those were good quick fire questions to lay the foundation for today's topic and of conversation. I think if we go back a little bit, right?
Yeah.
The fundamental question would be like, what is love to you? Like, how would you define love? It doesn't have to be any, like, just for yourself. Like, if you think about something, what's love? What is love? If you're not,
What's your favorite love song?
Oh,
because you're clearly already singing.
It's just another sad love song breaking my brain.
That's your favorite love song?
No, I'm joking. That's not my favorite love song.
The first song I thought of was is Whitney Houston.
If I were to name a famous fortune.
What's it called? That one.
'Cause your love is my love and my love is your love. Then what do they say? Your love. Yeah. Butchered the
I can't
song.
believe you can't think of one. But anyways, moving on.
Anyway.
You said, what is love? What?
Yes, the question. Define love.
If I'm being honest, I think I'm blank right now. I don't have an answer for that question. There's a lot of things I'm unpacking in my life and fixing, and that's why I'm saying I'm not even praying for a husband yet.
Okay.
Because what I thought what love was and all of that, I don't know. I will figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still in you. You define love, my friend.
Love is sacrifice. Okay. Love is for me to give of oneself at its highest form, or to the best of your ability, expecting nothing in return. And I think the best love was modeled to us by Christ, because he sacrificed expecting nothing in return other than to accept his gift of love.
Yeah.
And I think if you bring that down just to the relationships we have, love for many of us is, what can that person do for me? And for me, I realize that if we go, what can that person do for me? Then when we think that that person is not doing anything for us anymore, then we move on to someone else. And we continue this repetitive cycle of seeking and looking for someone to be filling, instead of having love as a service, as a serving, from a servant's place. So love is sacrifice, it's serving one another.
Yeah.
And if more of us have that kind of relationship, then again, I'm saying we're able to kind of grow together in this. I mean, the Bible tells us in Corinthians, love is patient, love is kind, long suffering. So there's all those qualities of love.
Yes.
And what it's not. Yeah.
What is love in, like, as friends, like you and I? The first thing that comes
you
into
and I work
long suffering.
Trauma.
Do you know the one that comes to mind is respect?
Yeah.
Respect. How we deal with conflict.
Yeah.
You know, and in the manner in which we deal with conflict.
Yeah.
I think you and I, as much as we're dramatic, we're both dramatic people.
Yeah.
But I've realized is respect as thando kurasa. Like when you and I have issues, it's 6 hours sitting down, we're talking.
And she ain't lying there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yay. Now, you see earlier you were talking about spicy. Now I can say, let's move to the spice. All of that beautiful butterflies. Let's go in. So you were talking about the fact that you are happily single, you are alone and not lonely, you are not yet praying for a husband, you're going to get there. So I know, right? The people don't know, the other Chommies don't know. But you've been celibate for a while now.
Yes. Is it a while though, if we're being honest?
Okay, well, you can tell us if it's a while or not. A year. So you've been celibate for a year.
Yeah.
First of all, why did you decide that you want to live a life of celibacy?
Ooh. I've never been like, I don't know how to say this.
No. It's just
I've had my seasons of celibacy.
Yeah.
You know, before I met Mang Mang, I was maybe celibate for 2 years. And what that celibacy looked like and things like that. Have I sort of been sexually liberated in some sense? Yeah, but also not really. I can't open up myself to people. I'm very rigid in that sense. I know it has to be a deep connection and all of that kind of stuff. So it's never been easy for me to with anyone. So I don't even know if it was a choice.
I'm tired of you.
I'm not listening.
You're not listening.
You're busy getting ready for dates here. Dates. As I'm thinking, God, what am I gonna do? I pulled this shower door yati. Cut my toe in half. And then, but it still didn't, like, you know, because how do you say that word?
Familiarity.
So anyways, eventually once the knock came, the celibacy has been slightly different though, because I thought it was okay. Guys, this is TMI, and Steph is laughing because she knows what I'm about to say. But we have to be honest, Tangiti.
No, go.
Because we're trying to teach.
Listen, to your level of comfortability, as far as you're comfortable, go.
In the past, I thought it was okay to be celibate, but still masturbate.
Okay.
Still watch pornography.
Yeah.
This time around, I haven't even watched porn.
Yeah.
And have I had couple of situations, you know, of course I've had, where even that has been quite convicting and all of that. So the celibacy has been definitely more conscious and walking the journey with the Lord.
So would you say that the season you're in now was brought on as a form of conviction, like, and your relationship with God and feeling like, no, man, this is what or how God wants me to honor him as a form of your relationship with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The sanctification.
Yes.
And I'm only learning what sanctification is as well, and understanding that it's a journey, because what happens is that we want to change things from the outside. And I've realized that, for example, you know, the other thing that I quit and thingies for 4 months and all of that, everything was a heart posture. Everything was the journey. So God worked on me on the inside. So for example, of course, temptations will be there. One thing I love that you always talk about is the devil is not smart. The devil he comes.
He's not creative.
He's not creative. That's what you like to say. He's not a creator. Right? He always comes back with the same old tactics. So of course, looking back at my life and looking at, you know, you're looking at generational things, you're looking at strongholds, you're looking at this, and I've realized as soon as a thought comes in, I shut it out and things. I don't have any feelings. Me and the department downstairs, we have no feelings whatsoever. We are disconnected.
Okay.
Anyways, so yeah.
Okay. So there's that. Do you think that because you were speaking about heart posture, you know, and when we speak about heart posture and we speak about being able to surrender, I suppose, you know, what are practical stuff that you have done to help Like just practical. Like let's say someone's watching and they also want to be celibate, right?
Okay.
And yes, we're talking about it's challenging, there's temptations, you don't always, sanctification is a process.
Yeah.
We're talking about heart postures, we're talking about surrendering. Good.
Yes.
But now on a practical day-to-day level, you're talking about having a thought in your mind.
Sure.
And sort of just, canceling it then and there, because the Bible speaks about renewing your mind every single day.
Yeah.
So what are some practical measures you've put in place to help you stay celibate?
I don't know what it is, friend. I cannot, I said I love watching Netflix. Obo. As soon as a kissing scene comes, I'm passing forward.
Okay.
As soon as I'm seeing some sex scene come up, I'm going forward.
Yeah.
So already I can't even watch things like that. I'm like,
so you're mindful about
the things that I watch.
The things you watch.
Even the music I listen to.
And the music you listen to, because you know that it will stir up certain desires.
It stirs up some old things.
Okay.
So music in the things that I watch.
Just on that.
Yes.
And I know it hasn't happened yet, but this is just a question that came to my mind now. But you're an actor.
Yeah, bo.
And you haven't yet in the last year had to potentially book a role where maybe the characters are
sexy, kissing,
or whatever, the very things you're avoiding. Because as actors, it's not like we're using a different body, we're using our bodies, and the things people we're not robots. So if you have a kissing scene, even for example, or something like that, have you thought about how you might navigate that? Or have you now decided that the kind of roles that you want to play, you don't want them to stir up the very thing that some of those shows and roles? Or do you think you're able to separate the two?
I've always separated the two.
Okay.
I mean, it's the question that everyone asks, right?
Not for the person per se, but I'm just saying in the space of celibacy that you're at, and now you have a kissing scene, for example.
You know how a lot of people that watch us like to always ask, how do you guys navigate kissing scenes? Can I be honest with you? I've never felt anything in all the kissing scenes that I've had. It's awkward. It's not nice. It's not. So I'm able to definitely separate Petronella and the character. However, though, I would love to not really have kissing scenes anymore. I know maybe and nudity, we've spoken about that. No more nudity, no sex scenes. Actually, even kissing.
And what has brought about that change?
I've kissed enough frogs. Like it's okay.
What are we talking about?
Actors. Oh, sorry, thespians. Shame, man. Bless their hearts, man. I love my thespians. I love my actors. Joking. Anyway. Something and I know because now I'm going quite deep, and when and it's up to you. Can I ask you something personal? Because we're out here talking about the load and sex. Did you wait to have sex before marriage?
I knew you had a question up your sleeve, and no, I didn't wait. I did not wait. I cannot believe on all the times that I've been on social media and YouTube and everything, I've never actually
had this conversation.
I didn't wait. And a lot of people it's going to shock a lot of people.
Who would actually think that?
No, a lot of my family and friends and just people in general.
And how do you feel?
So I think people, when they meet you at a season in your life where you have a certain relationship with God, there's assumptions that are made. If you've never spoken about it, a lot of people just assume.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people will be surprised that I did not.
And how do you feel the fact they're going to see this?
We all have stories and testimonies. We all have places we've come from and lessons we've learned in the process. But I can tell you right off the bat, I wish I waited. Okay. I wish I waited. The thing is, even when you speak from it from a godly, spiritual perspective, right? God created sex. Let's just start there.
Sure.
And he intended for it to be pleasurable and beautiful, but he also created certain boundaries with which he wanted us to experience this.
Yeah.
So I am of the firm belief that when you give of yourself in that way, you do become one. Two becomes one.
True.
Your flesh becomes one. And so that kind of connection, I think that the world has completely deceived us into thinking is not a big deal and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it does matter. It does leave certain residue and certain a certain connection within you, because it is such a, your level of connection it's the deepest level of connection that you will find. So I'm not like opposed to speaking about sex, even, you know, as a born again Christian, that's fine. But God created certain boundaries and he knows why as well, you know. And so for me, it's one of probably the biggest regrets that I have, is that I did not wait to give myself to one person and one person only, and I did not value, you know, what I now know about sex and the intimacy, you know. It's definitely something that I had to be released from in my time with God, because I was just always felt so like condemned by it, and kind of like very oh man, I wish I waited. And I would encourage people like,
I would
like wait.
Please wait.
Let's bring this to a close. Okay, do you think that that love is learned behavior? Like, do you think that we learn how to love each other, friends, husbands, wives, parents, whatever, like in our lives later on? Do you think we learn how to express love from those who have loved us?
I definitely do think love is learned, right? If I think about before I moved to England, there was no this thing. It's my grandmother Haibo, she's from the 40s, guys. So black Xhosa grandmother. It wasn't a situation of Jaktanda, I love you every day, kisses and hugs. I learned that when I went to England. Crazy enough. But yeah, it was the British, because it's always, do you want to cuddle, darling? Do you want to cuddle? Do you want to kiss? I love you, and things like that. Well, I love you every day, and you're like, hey,
what is this?
Abalungu. Which then what happens is that, as you know, with my kids, I kiss them 100 times in a day. I love you. Sipo, who's 16, goes, I love you, mommy. Mwah, cuts the call. So my children love to hug, love to kiss. I show love. Unlike you, my friend, I squeeze tight. And I kiss you, and I'm.
Why must you say? And why must you talk about
spicy?
Unlike me,
I like to be spicy.
You see. It's these hats and crochet things that you're wearing.
It's making me hot. So I think it's learned. You don't think so?
No, I agree. I think that certain expressions of love is definitely sometimes even culturally based. Like I was watching this video because, you know, most my people K-dramas, Korean, Asian, I'm there.
K-drama,
so I was watching this video because, like, you know, I always speak about how you're only gonna get like to kissing scenes guy episode 15, but outside that, even the way, because stories and movies reflect the society and people. So I was watching this video where they were speaking about, like, you know, a lot of times in Asian culture, like, love is also expressed through cooking. It's not really that they're very affectionate. Sometimes they come across very cold. Whereas in other cultures, like you're saying, you know, either Europeans or wherever, love is a lot more affectionate. And so I think the expression of love is definitely something that culturally speaking, or how we were raised, we kind of, you know, grow up with that. The ways that I even express through my love language, because my love language is acts of service, and I always say cooking is a love language. And I grew up in a home where my mom was always cooking for us, for my dad, you know. So that for me is how I express love.
And
you know?
do, my friend.
And I do.
My tummy appreciates it.
Yes, and you know what?
Yes,
you are the most in love with me because of how much I cook for you, Stephanie. You are.
Yes, we need to talk about
overflowing
with your food,
with love.
For you.
For my food.
For your food. Yes. What's that thing you say? If there's someone you want to appreciate your food, it's me.
It's Pat. I love cooking for Pat, because
my aunties and stuff.
Like,
guys,
Pat
I love
will
to eat.
No, besides the eating, she will eat, and she will. You can see the joy that's filling her soul that makes me so happy, because she does like this. happy dance that she does when
Yeah.
she's eating, and she'll tell you the food is good. You can even cook the same thing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You
the
didn't
most
even
simplest
change it in the
things.
simplest ways, and she
Yeah.
will love it. She'll appreciate it. So I love cooking for you. I really do. Anyway, that brings us to the end of
It's a wrap.
It's a Wrap.
It's a wrap.
Well, thank you, Chommies,
Thank
for
you.
tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode
About love.
about love and other things, many other things.
Many.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Bye.